Everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Prestige Liquids. My name is Andrew, and as always it is fantastic to have you here with me again on another whiskey review video. Now in today's video I am going to be reviewing a scotch for you. Just kind of taking a little step back from some of the Australian whiskies at the moment and trying to, I guess, bring out a few more scotches that I've had lying around, plus some new things that I've been buying as well. And this particular whiskey that I'm going to be reviewing for you today is definitely one of those new products that I've been able to get my hand on. Now for this video I have to give a massive shout out and thank you to my friends Anthony and Nikki over at New Dram Drinker. For those of you who are not aware of for those of you who aren't aware of New Dram Drinker at the moment, they are a UK based whiskey tube channel putting out some exceptional whiskey review videos. So if you have not done so already, go and check them out. I'll put a link down in the description down below to their channel, and also a link to the video featuring this same whiskey, because if it wasn't for them I would not be reviewing this. So let's just get it out of the way. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Hunter Laing Scarabus. Now for those of you who do follow New Dram Drinker, you would have noticed that I think about a week or two ago that they had recently reviewed the Scarabus, and they had also had a recommendation of this from, I guess, one of our super fans in the whiskey tube community. So again, a bigger shout out then to Luna Aaron. So thank you for spreading the word about such an interesting whiskey, and we've finally been able to, I guess, filter that all the way down to Australia, and I've been able to get my hands on it as well. So let's stop the rambling. I'll get this bottle out and start the review. I mean, look at that presentation. That bottle label is absolutely fantastic. More simple on the back, but the front design is amazing. So let's pour a little bit into my glass, and while I'm doing this, go and take the time to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. That way you can stay up to date with all future content, and make sure you hit that bell notification. Now, the only little bit of criticism that I can give about this at the moment, it's not so much to do with the whiskey, it's more so the company itself. And that's in terms of transparency. I mean, there is very little information that I could find regarding what's in the bottle. And look, I get that. Obviously, a lot of companies aren't always going to want to disclose what they are using, especially for independent bottlers. And obviously, there's certain agreements that they may have between the distillers and themselves to say that they most likely won't disclose that type of information. I think my major frustration was that about 2 weeks ago I had sent an email to Hunter Laing, just asking if there's any information that they could hand out, and I didn't even get a single response, even just say like a blanket statement saying no, unfortunately we can't provide any information. I mean, I would have been happy enough with that, but I guess that's another point altogether. So the only real information that I could find is what's on the bottle, and they've pretty much repeated this on the website as well. So we're bottled at 46% ABV, non-chill filtered, and natural color. So those are all very fantastic points that we all love in our whiskies. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much all I can give at the moment. If any of you that have tried this before have any more information, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to add that into the description later on. So I would appreciate any feedback. Alright, let's get on with the review. I think, yeah, we're about 5 minutes in, so I think I'll also add a timestamp into the description as well, just leading you all straight into the review in case you find this babble going on a bit too much. All right, let's move on. So on the nose. Okay, so one thing that I did forget to mention, the Scarabus is, it has been sourced from Islay, so we know that it's an Islay single malt. For me, the nose on this is very similar to a Lafroig. It's quite coastal, salty. It's got a nice subtle peatiness to it. It's definitely more of like that coastal peat that a lot of Islay drinkers will be familiar with, and not the, let's say, a foresty peat that you get from say more of like a Highland style. At least that's the notes that I'm getting anyway. I could be wrong, to be honest. I'm not sure where the peat has been sourced for this. It could be Highland, but I'm not too sure. I'm not going to say that I know. So again, salty, medicinal. Now I'm going to assume that this is a bourbon cask. It has a lot of those typical vanilla and caramel notes. It's quite nutty as well. It's got a nice gentle peanut and cashew nut aroma coming through. And I'm just loving that salty sea breeze that just keeps coming in every so often. It just ties up everything all together very nicely. Yep, so again, apples, pears, but I'm getting more, I'm definitely getting more of a grainy note rather than a fruity note on this. It's got a very nice earthy touch to it. Alright, let's leave it at that. Let me just mention that color as well. I mean, it is beautiful. It's this nice light amber color. Little golden yellow, very nice, almost like a vegetable oil type color, I guess, probably more so than amber. Yeah, probably has more of a tinge of like a vegetable oil. All right, let's get on to the palate and let's see what we get. So cheers. The mouthfeel is amazing. It's not too long, it's not too short, it's just perfect. And that ABV is just amazing. It's not too overpowering, it's very well balanced. Everything is just, it's just mingling together so well. So expect a nice silky mouthfeel. It's definitely not spiky. It's very gentle, and then once you kind of get accustomed to the mouthfeel, then all those fantastic flavors start coming through. So expect a nice rich coastal note, salty, yeah, it's definitely that salty sea air. I'm also picking up notes of and it could be just maybe because of what I had for lunch this afternoon. I had a nice bowl of ramen for for lunch this afternoon. I had a nice crispy piece of the nori seaweed in it as well. So I'm getting that nice salty seaweed taste as well. That's what that's reminding me of. I guess it's got a good nice umami flavor to it. And now it starts to open up. So you get all those vanilla, honey, caramel. It's got a gentle oakiness to it as well, with a slight barrel char. I don't think that I really don't think that these casks have had a heavy char on them. I think it's quite light, but it's enough to impart that nice barrel smokiness to it as well as the peat. What else am I getting? Again, I'm picking up notes like apples, I think tinned peaches as well. I'm getting kind of like a a tinned peach syrup note that's coming through, so it's quite sweet. Once that saltiness kind of goes away, you've got this nice tropical sweetness that comes along as well. I think I'm also getting a touch of like pineapple acidity at the very end of the palate. It's subtle, but it's there. It's kind of like powerful enough for you to notice it. I'm just really enjoying that cask influence again. That nice gentle oakiness is absolutely perfect, and also it just has this nice little bit of pepperiness that just kind of dusts it. It's like a dusting of pepper that kind of goes through the rest of the flavor notes. It's like a Gordon Ramsay seasoning of salt and pepper and just a touch of sugar. It really has an amazing palate, the notes that you get from this. I have to say, one thing that is very enjoyable is the fact that being that this is bottled at 46%, this is something I believe that is very enjoyable for both beginners and experienced whiskey drinkers as well. It's got a lot of dominant characters in it that new drinkers will be able to pick up, so you'll be able to notice some quite obvious notes. But then it also has a certain challenging aspect to it as well for the more experienced drinkers. You are actually able to sit down, chew on it a little bit, and just tear it apart and get all these different notes. So that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to doing with this whiskey, is just sitting down and just exploring it. And I think that's one good message that has been written on the label of this bottle, and that is only those who seek shall find. So I think the more you sit down and explore this whiskey, the more you will be able to find and discover. So I think that's a nice little sentiment there. The finish, again, amazing. It just wraps everything up completely in a nice little tiny bundle. It's silky smooth. It does not challenge you in any way at all. It just goes down so easily. Again, heavy on the vanilla, caramel and honey, touch of apple, and again that nice smoky oakiness and the peat that just wraps everything all up together in a tight bundle. So yeah, I think that's it. I don't really have anything else to say. I've covered all aspects that I wanted to with this, and I think that's it. And again, as I mentioned previously in the video, please, if you have not done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You'll be really helping me out, and I just appreciate all of you coming in to watch and leaving your feedback on the video as well. So alright, that's it. I'll leave it at that. My name is Andrew, and I'll see you all again on the next video. Get this.